In this video, we're going to turn what we have so far into a working blog. And I think you're going to be blown away at just how easy that is to do using Nuxt. So let's come up here and say yarn dev. And while that's running, let's think about the route that we're going to have to create to look at blog posts. Okay, so something like this, posts / and then an ID. So for example, maybe 1, maybe 34, maybe 2, whatever. So we need a way to make the ID dynamic. So let's start with the posts. We'll create a new folder here called posts. And then the next thing we want to do is create this dynamic route, and we do that using an underscore. So this underscore says, hey Nuxt, what I'm about to put in here is a dynamic route. And we'll set that to id.view. So let's go ahead and check to see if this works. We'll just whack in a div and call this the post page, save that, control click. And now if we go /posts/1, there we go, we've got the post page. But how do we pull the ID out? Well, let's have a look. If we come up here and then we say $route, then we have access to the route on this page. Then we can say params.id, save it, refresh the page, and it works. And if we set this to something else like 45, it's still going to work. So that's pretty cool. Now, rather than creating a backend and a server that delivers all of these posts, we're just going to mock that in this video by creating a new file here called post.js. And we're just going to pull the post straight out of this file. We'll say export default, and that's going to be an array. And the first post will have an ID of 1. It'll have a title of my first post, how original. And then the body is going to be, this is my first Nuxt post. Woohoo. All right, so now let's copy that down and create another one. 2, this is a funny post. And we can set the body to, why did the chicken cross the road? 1, 2, 3. But then again, that's not really a joke these days, is it? It's more of like a philosophical question. Anywho, we've got our posts array, so let's go ahead and use it. We'll jump into id.view, scroll down here and import it. Import posts from. Now, if we do 2 tildes, that is a shortcut for saying the home directory here. So we'll say 2 tildes / posts. Now we'll come down and we'll put posts in there. Then we'll scroll up and make a computed property here that pulls out the current post. How are we going to do that? Let's say post and then return this.post.find. We're going to grab the current post, and then we want to have a post with the ID of this current route. So to make it a little bit easier to grok, let's create a variable here called ID and set that to this.route.params.id. So that's going to give us the ID of the post that we want. And now to filter out the correct post, we want a post where the ID is equal to this ID that we got from the route. Okay, so let's go through what's going to happen here. First, we're going to hit this route, and then the ID is going to be passed through to this component. So that's what we're doing here. We're setting the ID on this route to that variable ID. And then we're finding the post that has that ID. All right, so now that we have the post, let's go ahead and display it. We'll create a H1 here. And then we can say post.title, and then let's give it a body as well, post.body, and we'll change that to a div. Awesome. Open this in the browser, and now let's look for the post with an ID of 1, and it works. How insanely easy and cool was that? Let's try a post with an ID of 2, and there we go. Now, this gets even better. So check this out. If we go to index.view, remember in one of the previous videos, I told you that Nuxt has this prefetching feature? Well, let's come up here and play around with this index page. Let's set a H1. Actually, I think we've already got some styling here. Yeah, look at this. We've got this, this title class. So let's go ahead and use that by setting a H1 with a class that's equal to title. And we'll call this my Nuxt blog. Save it. Let's go to the index page. There we go, my Nuxt blog. Now let's see if we can spit out all of the posts. And we're going to use Nuxt-link to spit out those posts. In fact, let's do this in a list. So unordered list. Let's get rid of that annoying list styling by saying list-style and set that to none. And now we can add our list items. List item. And then we'll say v-4 post in post. So we're going to have to go ahead and grab those posts. So let's scroll down here and say import posts from /posts. Scroll down to our data property. Oh, we haven't got it yet. Let's whack that in. Return. And then we've got our post there. So we're iterating over all of the posts. Let's set the key to the current post ID. I love that rhyming. And now we can use Nuxt-link. And then we'll say to is equal to, and we'll put through here a query string /post/post.id. So the ID of the current post. And we'll have to put $ and put that in some brackets. And now for the title of this link, let's just set it to the post title. Post.title, wrap that in some moustaches, and there we go. We should be good to go. Let's refresh this page. There's our posts. The first one works and the second one works as well. How awesome is that? We've already built a blog app using Nuxt. One thing to remember is that if we go into network here and then refresh the page, Nuxt is prefetching these two routes. So if we click on that, it's going to take us to that page instantly without doing a fetch in between, which is insanely cool. In fact, let's prove that by setting this to fast, refreshing the page. This will take a moment, so I'll fast forward this bit. There we go. And I'm going to say click when I click on this link so you can see that it's instant. Click. How cool is that? Even on a slow internet connection, we get this amazing speed. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I think in the next video, we might explore some fancy stuff like CSS transitions because they're really easy, fun to use, and I can teach it to you in about 2 minutes. So I'll see you in the next video where we're going to cover CSS and page transitions.